Hello and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Tenuola Shobo-Ale. We begin today in Sudan, where the ruling military council says it has foiled an attempted coup. While speaking on state television, military spokesman General Jamal Omar says that more than a dozen people have been arrested, among them current and retired officers from the Army and National Intelligence and Security Service. He also says that the coup attempt was aimed at blocking a power-sharing deal being finalized between the military council and pro-democracy demonstrators. Let's get more on this story from the VOA's correspondent, Naba Mohidin, who joins us from Khartoum. Naba, this is the third coup attempt that Sudan's military leaders say they have foiled this year. What more can you tell us about this latest attempt?
As we all know, this is number 3 coup attempt that TMC announced it since they ousted former President Omar al-Bashir and since the talks between TMC and protest leaders started. But about this coup attempt, they accused 16 officers claimed to be Islamists who want to restore the former regime. At the same time, there is no military movement in Khartoum streets. There is no control on TV or broadcast. So it's just an announced military coup, just like the other 2 trials. They announced it earlier.
The thing that they have said, the military council, is that this coup attempt is aimed at blocking a power-sharing deal being finalized between the military council and pro-democracy demonstrators. Do we have any idea, though, when this deal will actually be signed?
There is no idea when the agreement will be signed. Just last night, the TMC and opposition groups, they said they agreed on the political draft and they will discuss the constitutional draft on Saturday. And they also announced that the final agreement and the signature on the agreement will be next week in a big celebration. But they didn't say any time or any certain date.
Well, so with all that's going on, what is the mood like in the country with the announcement that the military has foiled yet another coup attempt?
The streets has turned from optimism to suspicious optimism since the agreement was not signed immediately. People are getting frustrated day by day, especially after TMC announced number 3 coup attempt they failed. People think that TMC is clinging to power and doesn't want to share it, so they announced the coup trial, whether to make people accept the agreement and be satisfied with it or just to cancel it. So right now people are more worried, suspicious and frustrated. At the same time, they are ready for any escalatory steps.
Well, now, but just before I let you go, a number of current and retired officers from the Army and National Intelligence and Security Services have been arrested following these coup attempts. What happens to them now?
Actually, nobody is certain about what happened to the officers being accused of coup trials, and nobody is certain whether there was coup trials or not, because TMC has always announced it, but without providing any list or any names. They just said that there is 16 or 12 or 92 officers belong to the Islamists who want to restore the former regime, but without providing any names, so nobody is sure about it, whether it's real thing or not, whether there is officers or not, so nobody knows what happened to them and whether they are existed or not.
The VOA's Naba Mohidin speaking to us from Khartoum on the situation in Sudan.